the journey on. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
Take nap time.
You won't get away!
I have something for you.
late to repent.
Naughty children, savor the vigor of life.
You won't get away.
Time for a detailed overhaul.
One at a time.
I hope you're prepared. Step aside. I have no interest in stoking you.
That'll take. You're in bad shape.
You won't get away.
I have something for you.
You will know justice.
You won't get away.
It's too late to repent. The time is now.
Time for nap time.
You won't get away.
Combat is a series of
One at a time.
I hope you're prepared.
That'll take more than medicine. You're in bad shape.
You won't get away.
I have something for you.
Clemency? Never heard of it.
You won't get away.
It's too late to repent.
Savor the vigor of life.
You won't get away.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall! Move carefully. The time is now.
What a headache.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
Naughty children, don't listen. You're in bad shape. Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Savor the vigor of it.
You will know justice. In the name of Landau, Years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Who's next? I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
It's too late to repent.
Nap time.
Don't mess with me.
I hope you're prepared. The truth of life and death. This sanctuary is but a vision.
Favor the vigor of
The time is now.
A sharp scythe needs targets.
Move carefully.
What a headache.
nap time.
You will know justice. In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
You have my gratitude.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
The truth of life and death, revealed in this sanctuary, is but a vision.
Savor the vigor of it.
So you are afraid of
Step aside. I have no interest in stoking the tides now.
That hurt. Naughty children, you're in bad shape.
Don't mess with me. What a headache.
Savor the vigor of it. Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
You have my gratitude. The truth of life and death, revealed in this sanctuary, is but a vision.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Clemency?
Don't mess with me. I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. A sharp scythe needs targets.
Late to repent.
So you are
Naughty children, you're in bad shape.
You will know justice.
So you are Let me end your misery.
Nap time.
We caught them unawares.
You won't get away! Don't mess with me! Let me end your misery.
One step closer to the stars. Naughty children, you're in bad shape.
One at a time!
I hope you're prepared.
You won't get away! So you are afraid of me. Let me end your misery.
We caught them unawares.
You won't get away! What a headache!
We caught them
Don't mess with me! Who's next?
Time for a shot. Nap time. Time for a detailed overhaul.
You won't get away! So you are afraid of me. Let me end your misery. Who's next?
You're in bad shape.
caught them unawares.
You won't get away! What a headache!
Naughty children, nap time.
Combat is a series of precise machinations.
Heal! You will know just...
So you are afraid of me. Let me end your misery.
We caught them unawares.
The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. We will see. Come with make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. To celebrate, I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh.
The time is now.
I have something for you.
You won't get away!
You're in bad shape.
You will know justice. Step aside. I have...
You won't get away!
I have something for you. Savor the vigor of it.
I hope you're prepared.
You won't get away!
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
The time is now.
Combat is a series of precise machinations. Not enough.
You won't get away!
It's too late to repent.
You're in bad shape.
You won't get away!
The truth of life and death. Reveal this sanctuary is but a vision. Clemency, never tired now.
I have something for you. Nap time.
You won't get away!
You will know justice.
It's too late. Step aside. I have...
I have something for you.
One at a time! You won't get away!
Naughty children, you're in bad shape.
getting late. Where to now?
Love at first sight, sold at first strike. The Wildfire used item auction is opening soon. If you are interested, head down to the Vagrant camp and get involved. Outsider! I remember you. Perhaps you're hoping to find some treasures at the auction too. We're not sticklers at this auction. You'll find everything from exotic Belobog rarities to tattered roadside socks. Well, after Wildfire got involved in the maintenance of the Vagrant camp, they saw there was a big resource distribution problem. People would rather keep a stockpile of useless objects than exchange them for useful resources. So we intend to hold a public auction. We'll allow folks to make the best use of the stuff they have by exchanging it for the stuff they need. It's mostly vagrants from the camp, but Boulder Town residents are welcome to join as well, of course. The more attendees we have, the more items there will be for trade, and the better we can meet the auction's goal. Buyers and sellers must all register their personal information. To ensure the quality of items, the sellers must also register details for each item. Then there's the standard auction procedure. The auctioneer presents the items, and the bidders place their bids on the spot. Pretty straightforward, don't you think? Oh, plenty! Gloves used by Chief Oleg, the domestic robot that Miss Fedora built. There are lots of prospectors hunting for ancient relics in the Vagrant camp, so there should be a lot of unique items at this auction. For example, I heard that one of the goods up for auction is a barely used geomarrow probe. Ah, never heard of a treasure like that before, huh? More excited about the auction now? Oh, here, take this pamphlet. It has more information on all the rarities up for auction. Remember to stop by the Vagrant camp. Be there, or be square.
I should tell Hook about the geomarrow probe. She might want to help Fursman get his treasure back.
How do I remember? I was just about to go see you. Daddy's already planned his birthday party, but I haven't been able to sell Junjun or buy a gift for him. What should I do? How do I remember? You think of something. I was just about to ask you about the probe. How do I remember? You found some clues? The auction. So that's where the probe is? Do you think Hook's stupid or something? At the auction, I can sell Junjun and buy a birthday gift for Daddy. Yeah! Junjun is still with the old witch. Let's go get him and then register for the auction.
Will of Preservation!
Stupid witchy old... Natasha! Have you finished fixing Junjun?
Oh, your teddy bear? He's nearly done. Here, take a look at him.
Wow, he looks brand new! Natasha, you're incredible.
Glad to be of service. Now then, did you really bring her over here with you just to pick up Junjun? Come on now, what are you guys up to this time?
We're going to the auction. No, that's not what we're going to do. Hey, you big mouth.
The auction? The one at the Vagrant camp? So you made me go through all this effort to repair Junjun just so you could sell him?
Honorary member, think of something?
You two make an adorable duo. I was only joking, Hook. Junjun is yours, and it's entirely up to you what you do with him. But you must make one promise to me.
Wait, what is it?
Don't go charging into the Fragmentum again. Mr. Fursman heard about what you did and came to me to find out what happened. Your dad worries about you. Stop giving him reasons to.
Daddy? Okay. I swear I'll never meet Natasha or Daddy Worry again.
I'm going to have to trouble you to keep an eye on this kid again. You seem to be doing a good job, so I'll leave it at that. Off you go then, and good luck.
Thanks, Natasha. Honorary member, let's head to the auction.
Welcome! Are you here to take part in the auction?
Yep. Huck wants to auction this teddy bear.
Teddy bear. How about I take a look at it first, little missy? With all due respect, I don't think this item will generate much interest at the auction. I don't see any value in it. Okay, let me take another look. The craftsmanship is excellent, and the fabric is soft, but I'm afraid that won't command a high price on its own. The eyes. Wait a minute. That's natural Erebus. What are precious gems doing on such an ugly teddy?
Hey, who are you calling ugly? Take that back.
Well, who'd have thought it? Allow me to make a suggestion. You should only auction off the gems.
What are you talking about? You can't just take Junjun's eyes off.
All right. Don't get upset, little missy. I'll respect the wish of the owner and keep Junjun here intact. Please, sign this commodity contract here.
Let me do it.
And if you and your friend would like to bid, please fill out this buyer registration form as well.
Of course we'd like to bid. I'll sign again. Honorary member, ask about the probe.
Probe? Are you talking about the geomarrow probe? As far as I know, there are a lot of people interested in acquiring that device. The estimated sale price is no less than 600 shield.
Stop bluffing!
Because it's a rare and useful treasure, the geomarrow probe will be up for bidding in the final round of the auction. But don't worry, the gems on your teddy bear are also very valuable. You'll have the chance to bid on the probe if someone's willing to pay a high price for him. Oh, then we'll be counting on you. I'll tell you a secret. The more bidders there are, the more you can get for your bear here. The place is teeming with potential buyers. It only takes a gentle nudge to get them to join in.
Huck doesn't get it. What are we supposed to do? I won't be much help then. Huck never deceives anyone. Let's ask around. Junjun's super cute. I'm sure there'll be loads of people interested in buying him.
Well, look at that! That's
It's no ordinary teddy bear.
Oh, sorry. I was in a bit of a trance. I didn't know someone was about to strike up a conversation. Huh. You don't look like you'll be bidding on much. So, I'll tell you, that teddy bear's eyes are genuine Erebus. But it's so absurd. I don't understand why precious gems would be sewn onto a teddy bear. Is this some new kind of scam?
So you don't think Junjun deserves those gems?
Junjun? Who's that? It's okay. I didn't take it to heart. In any case, Erebus of that purity is hard to come by in the Underworld. I have to get my hands on that bear, even if it means breaking the bank.
Junjun will break your bank for sure.
The gemologist will be bidding too. Hook's teddy bear may be the center of attention.
Don't try making conversation with me. I don't trust anyone here. I'm warning you, there's only one winner at an auction. Everyone here is one of my competitors.
What a weird man.
I'll take that as a compliment. You think I can't hear you, you little brat? You're Sellers, right? I just caught sight of a teddy bear on the bid list. Is that yours? You two with your poker faces. You got a trick up your sleeves with that bear.
This guy thinks that the whole world is against him. What should we do, honorary member?
Don't want me to profit from your item, huh? Well, in that case, I'm definitely gonna solve the mystery of your teddy bear. Ha-ha!
We could find the auctioneer now and kick off the bidding. Although there is still some time left. We could also see if we missed any buyers.
Please wait a moment. The auction will begin shortly. Please wait a moment. The next item has been provided by Hook. a gemstone collector from Boulder Town. It's a handmade teddy bear adorned with Erebus. An innovative design, it combines incredibly valuable Erebus gemstones with a good old-fashioned cuddly teddy bear. The opening bid is 300 shield.
325!
Oh, you're adding 25. Isn't that...
Hey, what's the problem with 325? That's my offer!
350! I'm putting my reputation as a gemologist on the line. I have to get my hands on that Erebus. Add another 100 shield!
450 going once, any buyers going higher? 450 shield for the Erebus teddy bear going twice, any other offers? 450 shield going 3 times, and sold!
Phew, the gems belong to me.
I hope this money is enough to buy the probe. You're right. Let's do this.
The bidding for the Geomarrow probe has been postponed due to unanticipated complications at the venue. Please be patient and don't leave the auction if you want to bid on it. Don't worry, everyone. Just a minor technical issue. We'll take a quick break now, and the auction will resume soon.
A break? Do you think there's something wrong with the Geomarrow probe? Let's go ask that staff member. What happened to the Geomarrow probe? You tell me right now, straight away, immediately.
There's nothing to worry about. It's just a technical issue.
You don't sound very convincing. Did someone steal it?
Well, we can't say for sure that it was stolen. We've contacted the seller and sent some people in search. We should soon be able to...
Yeah. Why wasn't Wildfire keeping a lookout? I gotta catch the thief and get the probe back. Any ideas, honorary member?
Are you suggesting that someone altered the registration form? That's simply not possible. We've been keeping a close eye on everything.
Fool! What the honorary member means is that the thief only came here to create trouble. They weren't interested in buying or selling, right? When the going gets smart, the boss of the moles gets smarter.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Aside from you, there was someone else who registered as a buyer but never put in a bid. And I think there was a miner who registered with him. Come on, let's go and interrogate them. Hi, excuse me. May I ask where the miner who registered with you is gone?
Him? I think he went back into town.
So, he already ran away.
He came here saying he wanted to buy the Geomarrow probe, but then he changed his mind for some reason and ran back to Boulder Town alone. I don't know him all that well. Why don't you just head into town and look for him?
Do you really think he'll turn out to be a thief? I'm not so sure now. Anyway, outsiders, you should go and look for him in Boulder Town. I need to make sure the other buyers haven't left. If you don't find anything, the thief might still be among us.
Let's head back to Boulder Town and catch the thief.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Hey, you! Did you take the Geomarrow probe? Hand it over right now!
Huh? What? Who are you? Where are the people I'm supposed to meet up with?
Honorary member, we shouldn't waste any time talking to him. Let's just knock him out.
couple of brats do to me? Do you even know how much the probe is worth? You two better think twice. The boss put in a lot of effort to find this item. If you even...
Enough talk! How about a Diggertron knuckle sandwich?
What a headache.
Who's next?
Defend the weak. Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward!
That'll take more than minutes. Savor the vigor of it.
Okay, enough! I give up, okay? Stay calm! I'll give you the probe, just listen to me. I overheard the auctioneer say that the Geomero probe would fetch at least 600 shield. 600 shield! Have you ever seen that much money? You? Yeah, right. I don't believe you. How about this? The boss, along with a few buddies and I, we put together 600 shield and buy the probe from you.
No! Hook won't do that!
Come on, Missy. Don't be so stubborn. We can talk it over. I see. You just want to keep the probe to yourselves, right? And here I was thinking I'd met some nice people. You're worse than I am.
Maybe it did in the beginning, but things have changed now. Let's go, honorary member. Back to the auction.
Wait a minute. You're just gonna give it back? That's 600 shield! 600! At least think about it!
There's nothing to think about, Mr. Thief. I want this detector, but I don't want to be a louse like you. We're gonna win it at the auction fair and square. Let's go.
You got the probe back? Amazing! Fantastic! The owner asked me to pass on 150 shield as a reward for retrieving it. And thanks to you, the auction house has regained its credibility. Please, accept an extra 50 shield.
That's 200 shield! Really?
You've earned it. Besides, if you win the bid for the Geomero probe, you'll have paid back the seller anyway, right? You should check your reflections. Your eyes light up whenever money's involved.
Huck generously accepts the reward. We've got 650 shield for the auction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the technical issue has been resolved. The second half of the auction is about to commence. Please gather in an orderly manner.
The next item up for auction has been provided by a veteran prospector from the Vagrant Camp. It's an ancient relic, a Geomero probe. The item itself was once a key component of another old world relic, and its one-of-a-kind craftsmanship has long since ceased to exist. This meticulously preserved probe is a rare work of art. The opening bid is 400 shield.
450!
480! 520!
$5.20.
550.
$5.60.
Order? You're just throwing bids out at random. $6.50.
700.
$7.20. Everyone's looking at us. What should we do? But we only have 650 shield.
720. 720 going twice.
750.
Oh, new challenger enters. 750 shield. 750 shield going twice. 750 shield going 3 times. And sold! Congratulations to the winner. The next item up for auction is...
Daddy's Geo Marrow Probe. Hook still thinks the probe is the best gift. Just now, I thought I saw the old witch. Is Hook imagining things? What does it matter? Hook didn't get the gift. I'll have to go back and ask the old witch for ideas.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Natasha!
Hook, what's wrong? Has someone been bullying you?
Mine and Daddy's birthday party is starting soon, but I haven't bought Daddy his gift yet.
So, the auction didn't go too well, huh? You made a very high bid. The problem is that there are a lot of wealthy people lurking in the Underworld.
Huh? You were at the auction too, Natasha?
Hook, you're upset that you don't have a gift for your daddy, right? Well, what about this?
Huh? Oh, it's the Geo Marrow Probe from the auction! How'd you get it?
I wasn't planning on saying anything, but I saw a couple of very sad-looking faces in the crowd. What do you think, Hook? Are you willing to buy the Geo Marrow Probe from me?
Well, this is all the money we got for June. Here, it's all yours.
Let's have a count. Doesn't seem to be enough.
Hook could also help Natasha clean the clinic for half a month.
3 months.
3 months? You witchy old. Natasha, let's negotiate.
No bargaining. By the way, Hook, how are your birthday party plans coming along? Have you invited this young lady?
Oh, not yet. Big sister, do you want to come to my birthday party? Great. I'll contact the other members of the moles too. Come find me when you're ready. We'll go together.
Boss, the big hero you mentioned is here.
Julian, knock it off. You heard that? Don't get too cocky, honorary member. We were talking about the birthday party. You want to hear about it too? Well, I had to invite Daddy first. Speaking of birthdays, Daddy never used to celebrate them. He only started doing it when he adopted Hook. I also invited other members of the mall, moles and... Oh, yeah, Zila too. She couldn't come today, but she said she'd still send me a gift. I also invited the Old Witch, Sweta, and you, of course, the honorary member. We were talking about the birthday party. You want to hear about it too? Aunt Gertie always makes a big black bean cake for Hook's birthday. Oh, and Daddy always makes a huge roasted rock crab for me. It makes my mouth water just thinking about it. And don't forget about Diggertron. Daddy brings a year's worth of machine oil and Diggertron drinks it all up. I'm the boss of the moles. If I don't get enough to eat, how will I have the energy to punish villains? We were talking about the birthday party. You want to hear about it too?
I do hope you will forgive the ramblings of an old man, but I would like to say a few words. I had no idea when my birthday was before I adopted Hook, and I most certainly did not celebrate it. I didn't realize how important birthday celebrations were until I met my daughter. That is why I chose to have my birthday on the same day as Hook, so that we could celebrate this special day together. That continued year after year until I too began to look forward to the party. Today is an extra special day. In addition to the moles, Hook has invited a dear and brave new friend. I hope you have a wonderful time at the party today. Natasha told me that you helped Hook retrieve a teddy bear. It used to be that Hook could only fall asleep when she held that bear in her arms.
Daddy, don't bring that up. Hook's grown up now. I can sleep without hugging June.
Life has gotten increasingly difficult since we left the mining town. All those days away at work have meant that your dad hasn't always been around to look after you. But fortunately, June was always with you, to keep you company when I wasn't around.
Oh, Daddy, I have to tell you something. I sold June.
Huh? You sold him?
Oh, don't worry, Daddy. I don't need a doll to keep me company anymore. Natasha, the moles, and the honorary member will keep me company from now on, so I won't be lonely.
You sold him. I truly am an incompetent father. I had no idea.
Not true. I know you care about me the most, Daddy. I just didn't tell you because I didn't want you to worry.
Thank you, Hook. But the birthday gift I've chosen is...
Huh? What did you get for me, Daddy? This... a teddy bear's cap, clothes, and a dresser? And a little home for him.
Toy-making companies are increasingly scarce this year. I had to travel to different towns. I never expected June might have been sold. What a shame.
It's okay, Daddy. Don't cry. Natasha will teach me how to make another doll. Oh, yeah, I got a gift for you, too. Open it and take a look.
For me? I'm curious. It's the Geomarrow probe.
She helped me to bid for it at the auction. I bought it with the money I got from selling June. With this, you should be able to repair the vein detector. Right, Daddy? Daddy?
Thank you so much, Hook. Daddy really likes this birthday gift. But, I might not be able to use it right now.
Huh? Well, why not?
It's like this, Hook. I bought your gift with the money I got from selling the vein detector.
Huh? So my gift is also useless.
Oh. Hook, do you still like the gift I got for you?
Of course! Your gifts are the best in the world!
Well, I feel the same way about your gift, Hook. Me and you are in the same boat.
Daddy! So everything outside the window is the universe? The stars look like candy. Endless candy. Well, how do you know? Even if they don't, who's to say there isn't a planet that tastes like honey? All these stars surrounding us? The Express is like a traveling theme park, warp jumping through candy. Which means you live inside a warp jumping candy theme park? Huh, not fair. Hook hereby declares the Astral Express the mole's newest adventure route. Full speed ahead, honorary member.
Take the journey. The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. The day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Where did they get to? Ah! Speak of the devil. I was just wondering when you might show up. Don't worry, there's enough to go around. On the house, order whatever you like. There's something I need your help with. I had to make it up to you somehow. Looks like we're not the only ones who wanted afternoon tea today, though. We'll have to stand up for the time being. Don't drink too much, or you won't be able to sleep tonight. Anyway, about the something I needed your help with. Don't get ahead of yourself. This might be more complicated than you think. How can I put this? If I remember correctly, you, March, and Don Hung came here on that train. The Astral Express, right? I was wondering, is the train accepting new passengers? I guessed as much. You see, there's not much left for me here except to carry on repairing equipment in the workshop. I like practicing the guitar, and performances are fun, but the crowds are pretty small. Besides, I'm a researcher. How could I not get excited about the chance to explore new worlds up close? Everyone gets tired of living in small places like Belobog after a few years, right? Really? You're gonna say yes, just like that? I understand. I'm counting on you. I know this is a lot to ask out of the blue, so apologies in advance. I knew I could count on you.
There goes Serval. I better send Himiko a text and ask about the request. Or I guess I could ask Mr. Yang. Or Pom Pom. Who's the best one to ask? Let's send a message to Pom Pom.
You should go and talk to Lady Bronya, Serval. It was her personal invite, after all.
I know. Let me think about it.
Perfect timing. Please, talk some sense into her.
I knew it. That's just it. There is no deal.
Serval, I understand your reluctance to rejoin the Silvermane Guards. But Lady Bronya values your talent, and she sees how much you could contribute to the rejuvenation of Belobog. So I came to talk to you about it. In any case, you should at least pay her a visit.
Okay, I get it. I'll make a trip to Klipoth Fort and tell Bronya what I really think. Sorry, I need to get this over with. Let me know what they said when I get back.
Same old Serval. Join the Express? I see. No wonder she seems so flustered. So, that's what's on her mind. Sorry, my head's still in the argument. It's like this. As you know, My sister used to be one of the research team leads in the Silvermane Guard's technology division. Stellarons were her main area of research. But her expertise went far beyond Stellarons. She was, and still is, well versed in mechanical engineering and other fields. Immediately after her succession, Lady Bronya set her sights on Serval's talents. The Supreme Guardian wants her to resume her technological research and be a shining light for the revitalization of Belobog. However, you saw her attitude just now. I doubt her meeting with Lady Bronya will change anything. It'll probably just leave them both feeling dejected. I think there's more than one element to it. My intuition tells me this is mostly linked to Madame Cocolia's passing. That's true, but... never mind. It's just a personal hunch. I've never been good at reading my sister's mind. I can tell the two of you have a close bond. If you get the chance, see if you can persuade her to open up about it. Hand on heart, I wouldn't want to see her sitting behind a desk in Clopoth Fort and sighing all day either. Belobog is too small a place for a mind as inquisitive as Serval's. Maybe it would be better for her to join you on your journey. I'll admit, I'm a little worried about how she plans on getting all this across to Lady Bronya. Are you busy? Let's go and wait for her in front of Clopoth Fort. Doesn't seem like they've finished talking yet. I hope it's not turning into a shouting match. Let's go in.
I understand your circumstances, Serval. I respect your choice. It was my mistake to make an unwarranted request without considering your own wishes. Allow me to offer you my apologies. I hope you don't take this matter to heart.
No need, Bronya. You're a Supreme Guardian now. Don't let a little thing like this... Besides, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I've put my own personal reasons ahead of Belobog's reconstruction.
I get it, Serval. After all, you and Mother... Sorry, I don't mean to open up old wounds. But there's something I need to ask you. This guitar, I found it after going through Mother's old things. She was never a music lover, so I thought this might be connected to you.
Cocolia, you...
Huh?
It's nothing. You're right, it does belong to me. In fact, it once belonged to me and Cocolia. It was our shared treasure. If you don't mind, Bronya, could I take it back to the workshop?
Of course. I'm sure there's a story behind it, but that's between you and Mother. I won't pry. I hope you have an amazing journey, Serval. Do remember to visit home when you get the chance.
I will. Thank you, Bronya. I assume you heard our conversation just now. I didn't expect her to be so open-minded. And she didn't even try to persuade me to stay. She didn't summon me just to return the guitar, did she?
I wouldn't rule it out. She's good at reading people's minds. She would have known that you'd never set foot in Clopoth Fort voluntarily.
After all these years, I never thought I'd set eyes on this guitar again. Guess we're stuck with each other. Well, it'll take a while to tell. When we were in cadet school, Cocolia and I were notoriously disruptive. We were always coming up with the next crazy invention. We called it exploring the infinite possibilities of new technologies. This guitar was one of those inventions. Cocolia came up with a name, the Super Electromagnetic Flux Player, or electric guitar for short. Not really, no. She was a military history major, very different from what I was doing. Still, we hung out every day. It's only natural that my love for inventing would rub off on her. I told you it'd take a while to tell the story. Let's get back to the workshop first. By the way, want to help me pack my bags? Huh? That melody.
That's one of yours, right?
I didn't think many people liked that one. Seems the city might have a few nice memories of me after I'm gone. Well, it's getting late. Let's head back. There's no place like home. I never feel completely free out there. Chapard, can you lend your dear sister a hand? Help me pack my bags.
Am I allowed to refuse? This place, just looking around gives me a headache.
Okay, I promise this is the last time. I'm about to go traveling with her. Who knows how long it'll be before I can visit home again. You should help me pack while you still have the chance.
Fine. I'll give you a hand.
You just need to make yourself at home. You've done plenty of work already. Well, let's see. Yes. Silvermane Guard's standard issue portable heater. It's broken though.
It's a family heirloom. It belonged to Rhonda once. You should take care of it.
I wanted to keep it with me. But that's the problem with old things. The less you use them, the easier they break. Besides, no one's paying me to fix it, right? Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I teach you a few machine overhaul skills? Want to practice on this old antique?
Here we go again. You don't have to do everything she tells you.
The principle behind this machine and the one you fixed when you first came to the workshop is the same. You'll understand when you see it. So, I'll leave this one to you. In return, how about I tell you the backstory behind it? I knew you were a reliable apprentice. Think about it. You helped me fix my machine the first time you came here, and now you're helping me the last time too. That's called having a beginning and an end, right?
Well done for putting up with her for this long.
Wow, great job. Like I said, a reliable apprentice. As promised, let me tell you the story behind this little heater. Its original owner was an ancestor of the Landau family, Rhonda Landau. She was one of our great heroes who participated in the defense of Belobog 700 years ago. The records tell that during the decisive battle, she led 2 Silvermane Guard brigades. She engaged the enemy for 4 full days and nights in the fight for the city. I still have the newspaper clippings from that time. I'll show you when I get the chance. Of course. After all, she was a Landau.
Take responsibility for your choices and the people of Belobog. Every Landau is driven by that ethos.
Oh, that? It's a botanical specimen. Little Lynxie sent it during one of her research trips. As for the name, I can't quite recall.
The snowman's palm. And little Lynxie is the youngest sister of the Landau family, by the way.
Yes. Snowman's palm. My memory's the worst.
It's the only plant here that looks like it's still alive.
Hey, watch it. Anyway, this specimen means a lot to me, so I'm bringing it with me. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, that's a letter I was gonna send to my mom. I haven't even finished writing it. There's nothing personal in it. Have a read if you like.
You're still writing to Mom and Dad?
Only to Mom. You know, I still don't get along with Dad.
You know, Serval, if you're really leaving Belobog for a while, you should pay them a visit first.
I'll think about it. Since you're so curious, I'll give you the whole story. This guitar was actually given to me as a birthday present by Cocolia a long time ago. I came up with the design, but I was never able to build it. Some of the raw materials were either too expensive or too hard to get a hold of. She helped me turn the concept into reality. Quick as lightning, always keeping her word. That was her way of doing things. Back then, I thought we'd be friends for life.
If it was a gift, why was it in Madame Cocolia's office?
I don't think anyone realized, but back then we were so close we didn't even differentiate between each other's possessions. We shared pretty much everything. We lived in the same dormitory, went to the same school together every day, ate together, whiled away the time together, and occasionally talked about music together, though it wasn't something she was overly familiar with. That's how things were until the day we fell out. A lot of our shared possessions never left her office again. I was always looking forward to the day she'd return this guitar. I thought that would be the day we could bury the hatchet. Now that I think about it, perhaps I was too naive. She'd probably forgotten it even existed. And that's the only Cocolia you guys ever got to know, huh? Always ahead of everyone else, never looking back, even for a second. She put it all out of her mind. Me and every memory to do with me. You think so too?
Let bygones be bygones, sister.
How did the conversation get so heavy again? No good. Let's talk about something interesting. You know something, Japard? That guitar case in your hand and my guitar? They're both from the same prototype. The super electromagnetic flux player.
I never knew your guitar had a connection to me, too. Quite the story.
That should be everything. Finally. I think I must have left cadet school with about the same amount.
No easy job. Serval, I want to ask you again. Do you really want to leave Belobog and go with the Trailblazers?
Of course. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can't miss it. What's wrong, Japard? Oh, I see. Can't let go of your dear old sister, huh?
Forget it. I don't want to complicate things for you. But before you leave, I have one last request to make. The garrison is heading down to the Underworld soon, to survey the situation around Boulder Town. Why don't you come with me?
Huh? You just said you didn't want to complicate things for me, and now you're sending me on a mission. Aha! You just want to spend as much time as possible with me before I go, right?
No, it's not that. I've heard there are a lot of old energy hubs in the Underworld, and you're probably the only person in Belobog who knows how to inspect them. Since you're leaving one way or the other, why don't you do the people of the city one last favor before you go?
Even at a time like this, you're still thinking about the people. I don't know what to say. All right, I'll help you out. The first and last time the Landau siblings will work together.
Thanks, sis. If you have the time, could you accompany the garrison? You're Belobog's hero. I'm sure you must be popular in the Underworld. The Silvermane Guards will face less resistance if you come with us. Thanks. I'll contact you when the guards have finished their preparations.
I'm tired of packing. Let's leave it here for today. Thanks for your help. Oh, I drank all the tea. Why am I getting sleepy?
You're here. Thanks again for agreeing to this. Don't be. I only just arrived myself. The highest priority for today is establishing good negotiations with the Chief of Wildfire. I'm about to get that process underway. Serval was a little delayed on the way over, but that doesn't affect our schedule. Let's set off.
Hold up, I wasn't that late.
Negotiations will be held in the Boulder Town Clinic. Serval and I are newcomers, so you'll have to lead the way. The Underworld isn't exactly how I remember it.
Feels like we're not getting many friendly looks, huh?
Well, well, well. I don't think our little clinic has ever played host to an occasion like this.
We meet again, Mr. Oleg.
Oleg will do, son. Oh, you. You probably won't know. Our young Silvermane friend here and I had the pleasure of speaking to each other at a certain Guardian succession ceremony. We're not complete strangers. But as for this young lady...
The name's Serval. I'm, an ex-engineer from the technology division, and Japard's sister? Pleasure to meet you, Chief.
Likewise, miss. The more the merrier. And it's good to have you here again. It bothered me and Natasha that we never arranged a formal welcome for you. Once we're done talking, you must all join us for a meal.
We'd be honored. But to your point, Oleg, let's finish our discussions first.
Quite right. Let's head inside. Too much commotion out here.
So she's your sister. The Landau family is full of talented young people, I see.
You're worried that Underworlders might still hold a grudge against the Silvermane guards. So you want to show your solidarity with the Trailblazers to build some trust. Seems like a sound strategy to me.
Rebuilding trust between the two worlds has always been a priority for Lady Bronya. People here must have felt abandoned by the guards after the passage was sealed off. If we were to simply take over the Underworld in the name of the Supreme Guardian, I can only imagine how people would react.
Seems like you have a good handle on the situation. I see now why you made captain at such a young age.
So, you're also saying the guards want to work with Wildfire and use our reputation to win back people's support, correct?
I wouldn't use those exact words, but that is more or less what we want to achieve.
If that's the case, I've got a question for you. Since this offer comes from those who left us to our fate for more than a decade, how would you react if Wildfire refused? Would you use force?
She's not trying to be diplomatic about it, is she? Who is she, anyway?
The barrier between the surface and the underground was the product of the former Supreme Guardian's misjudgment and the policies that resulted from it. The people of Belobog should have stood together, but instead, we were made to blame and hate one another. Lady Bronya wants Belobog to heal, so the Silvermane guards need to regain the people's trust. But we won't achieve that by kicking doors open and policing everyone around. As a grassroots organization, Wildfire did an extraordinary job maintaining order for over a decade in the absence of the guards. I can only imagine how much work you put in to protect the Underworld. I can assure you that the guards are not here to seize power. If it takes time for the people to trust us, so be it. We're willing to take small measures and serve as an auxiliary force to Wildfire to help maintain peace. I hope you can see that everything we do to rebuild trust and make Belobog work for all.
I swear, he never used to be this emotionally intelligent.
That's an answer I can accept. Oleg, what do you think?
I think there's no need for the guessing game to continue. It's obvious we share the same goal. With the help of Bronya, Serval, and Shepard, we're one step closer to rebuilding a united Belobog.
I agree. Tell Bronya that Wildfire will work with the Silvermane guards on security matters. However, things aren't simple down here. Please also tell her to draw up plans in case the situation demands...
Monsters! Monsters from the Fragmentum! They're swarming toward the town!
Not good. Stay here, Natasha. The patients need you. The soldiers and I will handle this.
Understood. We'll be counting on you.
Everyone rushed outside. I should probably see what's happening.
Please, help my friends! The monsters invaded the mine. Please, you have to save my friends. Otherwise, those things would tear them apart.
Don't worry. The Silvermane guards are trained for these situations. Where do we find them?
The Great Mine! The one with the big ore vein!
Understood. I'll send my men to set up a perimeter and start the rescue operation right away. Mr. Oleg, please entrust the Silvermane Guards with the rescue. The defense of Boulder Town will need Wildfire's expertise. Watch out for ambushes and be ready to receive wounded soldiers.
Ha! You're a natural-born commander. Understood. Leave it to me, son. Your troops will be unfamiliar with the layout of the mine. I'll send some of my men to be your guides.
Thank you. In the name of the preservation, I promise we'll do everything we can to save lives. I'll go on ahead and lead the troops to the mine. Catch up to us when you can.
I couldn't get a word in while they were talking. A duty-bound soldier and a resistance leader. It's hard to be rock and roll in front of people like that. You know, maybe I need to put my inner struggles in a broader context. You're right. I've probably been idle for too long. It's easy to get stuck in your own head. It's just... I see people fighting for their lives, and here I am thinking about how to escape. I feel guilty about that. Wait a minute. Was that Japard's plan all along? Use guilt to make me stay? That's true. Anyway, since he asked for help, it's time to give those monsters a shock. You know the way to the Great Mine, right? Let's catch up with Japard when you're ready. That's all you needed to say. Let's go. You know the way to the Great. That's all you needed to say.
Put all artillery units on standby. Wait for my command to bombard enemy positions and cover our infantry advance. We have a choke point here. Tell all infantry units to switch to double line formation. Close quarters in front, gunners behind. Remember, get the wounded out as soon as possible, and always secure your flanks before advancing.
Yes, sir.
Ah, you're here. Get ready. We need to help the infantry lines drive deep into the mine. The back of the mine has been secured, which gives us a forward base to send in supplies. The Silvermane Wildfire Combined Regiment is conducting rescue missions as they advance. The battle is fierce. I need to get to the front line. I'll leave the command post to my officers.
I don't know much about warfare, but I don't see why a commander needs to lead the charge. The situation here is totally different from the restricted zone. Japard, let me and her clear the way for you. You should stay in your command post.
Thanks, Serval, but please trust my judgment on this. I made a promise to Mr. Oleg to save as many people as possible. I have to see to it myself.
There's no stopping you once you've made up your mind. Fine. We'll do it your way.
Let's move out. We need to clear a way for Wildfire and the guards. All civilians, please go to the bridge immediately. The Silvermane Guards have set up a defensive perimeter. You'll be safe there.
There's a monster heading this way. What should we do, Japard?
Bring it down. We need to cover the retreat.
Like tempo!
Savor the vigor of it.
You won't get away!
It made it easy for us, but we can't let our guards down. It's safe here. Let's move on.
You won't get away!
So you are afraid of me. Let me end your misery.
One at a time!
A sharp scythe needs targets.
You won't get away!
What a headache.
This song, let's ride!
Not enough. A delicate operation.
Japard, look! The miners have put up a makeshift defensive line.
Are you the Silvermane Guard?
That's right. We're evacuating the miners together with Wildfire. Are there any other civilians up ahead?
The Silvermane Guards and Wildfire are working together now? Oh, civilians. I saw a girl run out from our defensive position just now. My brother went after her, but they haven't come back.
Understood. I'll bring them back. The guards and Wildfire have set up defenses on the bridge. You should head over.
Thank you. Please, bring them back to safety.
Oh no! Monsters are coming this way!
Leave the battle to us. You need to fall back.
Okay. Thank you for saving us.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all!
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Great.
Pretty good crowd today. Turn up the volume!
Combat is a series of precise machinations.
You're in bad shape.
Don't mess with me. Who's next?
Like tempo!
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all!
Time for a detailed overhaul.
the vigor of it.
What a headache.
Turn up the volume.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
I'll free you from your chain. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
You won't get away.
You're in that shape. Don't mess with me.
Let's keep searching for the missing girl and the miner.
Is it me or is it cold here?
What a headache.
This song's just for you. Keep up my tempo.
The one and all.
You won't get away. Turn up the volume.
Combat is a series.
Ready to lose yourself?
Machinations.
Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Savor the vigor of it.
Pretty good. Let's rock.
Time for a deep.
Not even nap time.
Don't.
Combat is a series.
One at a time. You won't get away.
Savor the vigor of it.
What a head. Who's next?
Let's rock.
Time for a
Don't.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
A sharp scythe needs targets.
They're in danger. Let's go.
Great.
My tempo.
Combat is a series of
One at a time. You won't get away.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. shame.
This...
Time for a deep...
You won't get away!
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
I have something for you.
Favor the vigor.
Let's rock!
You two, it's too dangerous here. Find the Silvermane guards and Wildfire at the bridge. They'll protect you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Zeno, take my hand. Let's get out of here.
It's so cold here. I'm scared.
The monsters have gotten stronger somehow. I don't remember them being this difficult.
Thank goodness we got here in time. If we'd arrived any later...
That's one brave little girl. You were like that at her age, too.
Huh? I wouldn't go that far. I only had Dad to deal with. He could be fierce, but nothing like the monsters here. Besides, my problem with him wasn't that he was a strict father. I just couldn't believe that he never lifted a finger to oppose Cocolia's order to seal the passageway. Vowing to protect the Underworlders in one breath, and then deciding they deserve to be abandoned in the next? Family code of conduct. What a joke.
Father was a soldier. He wasn't supposed to question the orders from his superiors. Never mind. I know I sound like I'm defending him, and I don't want to make you angry. At least now we've got the chance to right the wrongs.
I'm angry just thinking about it. Looking back, I'm glad I left home early.
Running away doesn't solve the problem. It's been ages since you two had those fights, but you still can't let it go. You need to walk out of his shadow. I'm not trying to change your mind. I just want to know that your choice to leave this planet is a result of having thought things through. Not because you're trying to run away from something.
My choice.
Sorry, I sound like Dad.
Don't worry about it. I get what you're trying to say. I do. It's just... I need some time. Let's focus on the business at hand. That miner we met said his brother came this way. We should look around.
Okay. Be careful, though. I sense a drop in temperature. Something's not right. It could mean something we haven't encountered before is waiting for us. Stay on your toes.
Burn away!
These monsters are tough. I need to find those kids.
Hey, did you just scare off a Fragmentum monster?
Kind of. There was one on its own. I managed to chase it away. Speaking of which, you came from that direction, right? Did you see two little kids, a girl and her brother? Ah, thank goodness. I chased the monster too far and lost him.
They'll be okay now. You should head back to the bridge, too. The guards and Wildfire have set up a safe zone there.
Thank you, all of you. I'm just glad they're okay. I can finally retreat as well. I heard there's a powerful monster down the road, some kind of leader of the pack. I'd take caution.
Thanks for the intel. We'll be careful. I think he was right about the monster. You two, no sudden moves. I've seen this type of monster a few times near the restricted zone. Ready? Here we go. Wait, don't get too close. Something's not right.
Huh? What is it?
These monsters are usually eager to fight. You're guaranteed a fierce battle if you see one in the Fragmentum. But this one doesn't seem concerned about us. This could be a trap. I'm not sure either. I just have a feeling that something's different.
The air... it's so cold.
Stellaron promises Serval.
Did it just... talk?
Steady. Get ready to counter its attack.
Can Jeopard not hear that?
Jeopard, Serval, Londo.
Did it just say Jeopard and Serval?
That noise! Do Fragmentum monsters usually sound like this?
Talking? I just hear white noise. Wait, you understand it?
Our names? What's happening here?
I heard rumors about this kind of monster. Shadows in the Fragmentum that assume human form are echoes of the will of past guardians. If the rumors are true, could it be?
Cocolia. You just won't stop haunting me. I try everything to put the past behind me, and yet you always manage to creep up again. Cocolia, you witch! You've terminated my research and ruined my life. What else do you want to take away from me?
Calm down, Serval. It's just a Fragmentum illusion.
All that time we spent together, was any of it real? It was so easy for you to just leave this world behind. Don't you at least owe me an explanation?
Serval!
Londo, stand down. There is no place for you. The promised new world.
Sister, I know you want Madame Cocolia to respond. But this thing in front of us is our enemy. It was born out of the evil gathered in the Fragmentum. You won't get answers from it. Fight with us, sister. Let's dispel the shadow of the past once and for all. Of course, if you're not yet able to confront the past, then she and I will fight for you until your heart is ready.
You too. I'm sorry, brother. I always make you worry when things get serious. But I see what you're doing. Reverse psychology, huh? Well, seeing as we've come this far, Cocolia, let's settle this bad blood right here, right now. Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all. You won't get away.
You still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
Great. Let me end your misery. I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Pretty good crowd today.
Combat is a series.
One at a time.
Favor the vigor of it.
This song's Let's Rock!
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much obliged. What a headache.
Time for a detail.
You won't get away!
Favor the vigor of it.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Serval. 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 Why do you always have to stand in my way?
The temperature is returning to normal. The monsters are retreating. I think it's safe to say that the shadow of Madame Cocolia was the reason for this invasion. The other anomalies we experienced were probably also a direct result. Whatever the case, we've managed to avert a crisis. Are you okay? Indeed it was. We're lucky to have an experienced fighter like you who can adapt to different enemies. It would have taken us much longer to fight off the shadow without you. Serval, how are you feeling?
I feel like something heavy has finally been lifted. All that noise before it perished. Did you catch what it said? You see, you really made no effort to correct your mistakes, Cocolia. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. From here on out, I'm over that woman.
I can tell you mean it this time. I'm happy for you, Serval. It's not easy to truly put the past behind you. Looks like we accomplished our mission. I need to get back to the guards in Wildfire to wrap things up. You two should head over to Natasha's place and check in on the wounded.
Sure. Come find us later at the clinic. Let's leave Japar to his business and head back to town.
Fancy a coffee?
I see. Thanks for bringing me up to speed. The clinic has been busy while you were gone. We've treated many people, soldiers and civilians alike. All in all, I owe everyone a big thank you. It would have been much harder if Wildfire had operated alone. Thanks to Captain Japard, we managed to keep our losses to a minimum. I'm sure people will begin to appreciate the Silvermane Guards after this battle. How could I forget about you two? We couldn't have done it without your help.
You're too kind. They deserve the real credit. I doubt I'd have come back in one piece without them.
Sounds like you went through a lot of danger. Are you hurt, Miss Serval? I can have a look if you like.
I'm all right, don't worry. Everything worked out eventually. Let's wait for the rest of them to get back.
Miss Natasha, we've returned.
Is that Japard?
Mr. Oleg has a pretty good handle on what's needed in the mine. He's arranging for rescue teams and supplies to be sent over. He won't be back for a while.
Looks like you guys have the situation under control. Thank you. I'd love to sit down and chat with all of you, but I still have a backlog of patients to see. Oh, there was a girl and her brother who said you saved their lives. You might want to check on them and see how they're doing.
Natasha's right. We should make sure those children are all right.
Come on, drink it up and you'll feel better.
But there's smoke coming out of it.
It's you. You saved us from the monsters in the mine. You guys are Silvermane Guards from the Overworld, right? If you hadn't been there, we would have... I'll think of a way to repay you. I'll get a job and... That's very kind of you. If Mom and Dad were still here, they'd want us to return the favor.
Mom and Dad went somewhere far away a long time ago. Haven't come back yet.
They'll come back one day, Zeno.
So, you're looking after your brother on your own? That must be hard.
Not really. It's my responsibility as a sister. I'm just worried that with all these monster invasions, maybe one day I won't. My brother is too young to survive in the Underworld. To think he might have to live on his own.
The misjudgment of the former Supreme Guardian isolated the Underworld for more than a decade. With that isolation came tragedy. But under Lady Bronya's leadership, the Silvermane Guards will atone for past mistakes and bring relief to the people. From now on, you don't need to worry about the safety of your family.
Captain Japard.
Taking care of yourself is hard enough under these circumstances, let alone if you have a brother to look after. I know it can't have been easy. Zeno, right?
Yes, Mr. Captain.
You're still young, so you need to stay under your sister's wing. But when you grow up, remember to use what you've learned to protect her. Be there when she needs you, and listen to her when she feels vulnerable. She'll do the same for you.
Okay, sir. I'll protect my sister when I grow up.
Thank you, Captain Japard. Zeno and I will remember your words.
You know, I'm pretty good at turning a happy reunion into a tear fest. Let's call it a day and give them some room. If you're not too tired, Japard, can I talk to you for a moment? What you said back there, did you really mean it?
Of course I did. And it wasn't some last-minute speech I cobbled together. It's how I've always felt. We can't always face problems alone and build walls to keep people out. We We need to learn to rely on others, especially those we care about the most.
I know what you're up to, Jeppy.
Huh? What do you mean?
You made it sound like you were talking to those kids. But you were talking to me. Who's building that wall now?
Well, a Landau just called out a Landau.
Japard. I changed my mind. Change of plan. I've decided to stay in Belobog.
Serval, I just want you to know that I would have supported your decision, no matter what you chose. I wasn't trying to force you to stay.
I know that, Japard. Don't worry. I've thought this one through for a change. What you said was the last piece of the puzzle for me. I suddenly realized that my decision to leave was just me trying to run away from my problems. Wasn't a mature decision. I've always found it hard to handle complex relationships. Be it Cocolia or my family. The first thought I have when things don't work out is to run away. Starting from today, that's no longer the case. After all, I'm not doing this on my own, right?
Right.
If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have had any idea about the hardships people were going through in the Underworld. It made me feel like maybe I could help a little and make Belobog a better place. I have one last thing that I might need your help with. I want to see the Stellaron. I want to see the place where Cocolia sacrificed herself.
Say no more. We'll go with you.
Oh, but before that, I need to go back to the workshop and get something. Why don't you head north first and we'll catch up with you? It's all right. I've got Japard with me. We'll be safe. See you in a bit. It's cold here. Is this the Stellaron imprisonment device? They had such advanced technology back in the day. Impressive.
This is where Madame Cocolia died.
She gave something back in death. I wanted to come here to perform for Cocolia. To say goodbye. I'm glad you guys are here to witness it. Not the nicest spot for a show. And the equipment could be better. Sorry about that.
The stage is yours, sister.
Look at me, Cocolia. Don't you dare look away. Because I will no longer live in your shadow!
Happy?
Happy. I just wish I could have seen the look on her face. Shame. Well, that's all from me. Thanks for sticking by my side throughout all of this. As for tonight, let's go to old Gerda's place and have a big feast to celebrate.
So, you're getting the tab?
Oh, wow. The train carriages are so cool. Can we put a little stage there? I'm only kidding. But if you like, I could give you all a small private show anytime. The sofas here all look tailor-made, perfect for VIP guests. Thanks for inviting me. I've got my hands full right now, but I'm looking forward to the express tour.
I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. Come with me, take the journey on. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. Come with me, take the journey on. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. till we make it. Oh, we will see the way.
Apologies. I've been busy lately, so I had to put off the express tour for a while. Here we are, finally.
Till we make it.
Sorry. Forgive me. I mean, you know what I mean. What should we see next? Do we just follow the express tour route? All right, lead the way. I'm honored to be invited aboard the express. Truly, I'm not just being polite with you.
We will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. The day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
The thief has stolen parts again? How am I going to track down this crook? Oh, it's you! There have been a few unusual thefts in the dwelling over the past few days. The vagrants say that the parts they worked so hard to obtain have completely vanished. They're worried that there's a thief in the dwelling. Despite our investigations, no one has been able to track down the thief. What's even stranger is that the thief appears to be only interested in stealing parts and doesn't care about other valuable items. The vagrants had no choice but to ask Mr. Svarog to look into it, but he still hasn't found anything. I investigated the matter myself, but I came up empty-handed. Geez, I'm baffled. What a strange thief. Are you also here to look into this case? Perhaps if we work together, we can uncover some clues that I missed. It's just, I haven't found enough clues yet. The thief is really tricky. They haven't left any traces in the dwelling. Oh, I heard the vagrants on patrol last night ran across the thief again, but I haven't had time to look into it. Should we go ask them? You sound so cool. You're like one of the characters from Mr. Svarog's movies. Aren't they called detectives? Seeing you so fired up has me excited too. Now, let's get started. Sir, how are you? I heard you saw the thief who stole the parts last night. Can you tell us what happened?
Ah! Who's there? Oh, Clara, it's you. I thought it was... You scared the living daylights out of me. I did see the thief last night, but who is this person next to you?
This nickname is a bit embarrassing.
Detective? I see. You're here to help catch the thief, right? It's great that there are more people here to solve this case. Hold on. I'll explain what happened last night. Just let me gather my thoughts first. Oh, okay. So, last night I was on patrol when I bumped into the thief stealing the parts. Then I just... Goodness! Okay, I'll explain slowly. I was cold and hungry while on patrol last night, so I decided to return to the dwelling and heat up some leftover canned food for a snack. But when I entered the tent, the thief's silhouette scurried across my vision. I couldn't see the thief's face because the tent was so dark, but I could tell he wasn't a nice guy. Because when he turned to flee, he swung a knife right across my face. In that moment, I really thought I was going to die. I could feel the blades chill on my cheeks and smell its rusty scent. The weapon that fella had was definitely a metal one. That's the only thing I'm certain of. Also, I saw the outline of him in the dark. The fella's head was absolutely square! Yes, you heard me, square! Can you believe that? Someone with a square head? It was truly terrifying!
It sounds bizarre, but it could be a clue. I'll jot it down. Sir, please take a deep breath. So, the thief was armed with a metal weapon and had a, square head, correct?
Yes! That's correct!
I'm struggling to make sense of these clues. Do you have any thoughts?
I'm sorry. I was too scared. When a shadow leaps out at you, who could possibly pay attention to such tiny details?
It seems that's everything. We now know one of the culprit's physical traits and that he is extremely violent. But how can we track him down?
Ah, yes, I remember something. While the culprit was hurrying to escape, he knocked something over. He may have left some clues or something.
This is a crucial clue. Let's go investigate the crime scene together.
I think he ran that way. No one has touched the crime scene, so any traces he left behind should still be there. Please, catch the thief for us.
Take a look at these marks. These are very suspicious. Could they have been left by the culprit? They point in that direction. Let's go take a look. look at these. How unusual. They don't appear to have been left by a human. The tracks stop here. I guess we'll have to look around for other clues. This is where the mechanical waste is disposed of, though. Could it be? Oh, okay. I'll follow you. Let's split up. Wait, what's that noise?
Step aside. I have no time now.
Turn up the volume.
That favor the vigor of it.
The best is yet to come.
It's a tiny robot? Is it searching for something? But I don't remember Mr. Svarog issuing an order like this recently. It looks like it's carrying the vagrant's missing parts. And those tracks and metal scratches we noticed earlier. That would be quite strange. Yet, such a scenario can't be ruled out. This small robot doesn't appear to be a Belobog creation. It looks like it's been welded together from random scrap metal materials. Oh, it appears to have a small mechanical arm. Oh, it's noticed us!
Human. Injured. No. Hurt. Please don't.
I don't understand what it's saying, but it doesn't appear to be trying to flee or attack us. It appears to be trying to say something. Human, please, don't hurt. Is it trying to say, please don't hurt me, humans?
Human. Parts. Rivets. Need. Repair. Need. Town. Parts. Need. Hurt. Don't.
It appears to have a malfunction, but I think I can understand it. It seems that it needs these parts, and it's begging us not to hurt it. I've never seen a robot with this kind of malfunction before. What happened to it? Although the small robot appears to want to communicate, its speech is all scrambled. Perhaps there's an issue with its language module. This little guy probably can't understand what we're saying either.
Run. Escape. Open. Fire. Workshop. Chase. Don't.
It's running away. No, we can't let it escape. It still has the Vagrant's parts. What should we do? We gotta stop it. But please don't be too rough on it. I'll figure out a way to repair it later.
Hurt. Pain. No, hurt. Don't. Pain. Suffer. Sorry. Parts. Sorry.
Savor the vigor of it.
The die is cast.
Sorry. Hurt. Pain. No. Pain. Sorry. Sorry. Pain. Sorry. Sorry. Suffer. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh!
Sorry. Hurt. Suffer. Pain. No. Pain. Sorry. Sorry. Pain. Hurt. Sorry. Suffer. Sorry. Sorry. Pain. Sorry. Ouch. Pain. Sorry.
Why?
Sorry. Pain. Suffer. Sorry.
It seems to have stopped working. Was it begging for mercy? I'm not sure what happened either. I feel bad about this. I guess we should return this little fella and the parts. I think I can... I'll repair it. And if I can't, I'll ask Mr. Svarog for help. He always knows what to do.
Initiating assessment of the robot's condition. Please wait, Clara.
While Mr. Svarog is assessing this little fella, let's give it a quick checkup ourselves. This paint job and these custom parts, and the way the parts are attached, it's all quite strange. But one thing is for certain. This little fella is not under remote control. He's operating entirely of his own accord. Its design is, well, unique. I've never seen a robot with a design like this before. It really seems like something that was thrown together rather quickly. Its creator most likely didn't consider whether the system would function properly or not. Is it a failed robot pet creation that has been abandoned? But if it's a pet, then why would it gather parts itself? I've heard that some vagrants in the dwelling keep the little robots they find as pets. Some vagrants also make modifications to their pets, which they call pet upgrades. Pets like that are pretty rare, but some of the folks who have them have formed a small community to share ideas. Some are interested in nurturing robots. Others force them into battle. If my memory serves me right, the parts this little fella stole were originally designed for that kind of pet upgrade. The vagrants, or to be more accurate, the majority of the people in the Underworld, regard robots as nothing more than tools. But I disagree. Robots have their own thoughts and feelings. It's great that you understand what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I just suddenly felt some strong emotions. Let's get back to work on repairing the small robot. This jack's placement is odd. The chip is buried deep inside. If you don't look closely enough, you won't even find it.
Assessment of the robot's condition is complete. The shell damage is estimated to be 98.2%. The assessment concludes that a total recovery is impossible. It is recommended that the robot's external shell be removed and replaced, while keeping the outer circuitry and related transmission devices.
You can always rely on Mr. Svarog to come up with a brilliant idea. So, I guess we'll have to go find a new robot shell to fix it, right? I'm not sure if anyone sells this kind of thing. However, there must be some robot shells lying around the machine graveyard. Everyone calls it a graveyard, but there are actually lots of useful parts buried there. I'm gonna return the parts to the vagrants first, then I'll check on the little fella. Can I trust you to find a shell in the machine graveyard, big sister? Really? You could have what it takes to be a prospector. Then, I'll entrust this task to you, big sister. Look for Toby at the front entrance. His appearance is crude, but he's the robot most familiar with the machine graveyard. Just follow Toby.
Hello, guests of Miss Clara. Please do as you wish. It's my honor to serve you. Miss Clara has assigned me the task of planning your sightseeing route in the machine graveyard. I will guide you down the path. Would you like to engage in super speed? If so, please confirm by spinning counterclockwise 10 times, then clockwise by 270 degrees.
Pretty good crowd today. Turn up the volume. Time to go on the offensive.
Nap time.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all. Up my tempo. To the finish.
You're in bad shape.
The best is yet to come. This song's just for you. Turn up the volume. Time to go on the offensive. Ha! Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.
That'll be nap time.
Die is captured.
Pretty good. Let's rock. The best is yet to come.
We have arrived at our first destination. This model is known as the Dire Wolf, and was scrapped after it sustained piercing damage during a battle with another robot pet, which caused the chainsaw's fuel tank to burst.
Robot pet battles sound a little frightening. The inside of the armor is a total mess due to being melted by the heat. Unfortunately, it appears to be useless.
We are on our way to the second destination. Please take a seat, buckle up, and hold tight. Caution! You have exceeded the speed limit. Please obey Belobog traffic laws. On the road, safety is the top priority.
My tempo!
Time to go on the offensive.
You're in bad shape.
This ends here.
Naughty till next time.
The die is cast.
The best is yet to come.
We have arrived at our second destination. This module is called the Beetle, which is the same as mine. This machine was scrapped because it accelerated erratically for 7.1 kilometers after it incorrectly interpreted a command, causing the engine to catch fire and the core module to melt down.
That is such an odd reason to be scrapped. However, the shell appears to be in good condition, so I'll bring it with me.
Your trip has concluded. Please keep an eye out for vehicles approaching from the back or sides, as well as enemies and automatons. Your trip has concluded. I appreciate you putting your trust in Toby. A 5-star review for this trip has been automatically generated for you. You're welcome.
Clara, it's time for a break. You shouldn't repair machines when you have negative emotions. It's bad for your physical and mental health.
Don't worry, Mr. Svarog. I'm fine. Oh, you're back already. How did it go? Did Toby help you find a shell? This shell. It doesn't appear to be the same design as this little fella's. But it shouldn't matter. The structures of these small robots are nearly identical. Thank you for bringing this to me. I finished extracting that chip from the small robot. Now, all that's left to do is move all this circuitry into the new shell. Although its appearance has changed a lot, I think we did a good job. But what I just did, is it any different from those pet upgrades that the vagrants performed?
Not compatible. Incompatible.
Huh? It's making a strange sound.
Incompatible.
What's going on? Is it malfunctioning?
Incompatible. Incompatible. Incompatible.
Risk level high. Clara, get away now.
Big sister, watch out! It's out of control!
Nap time.
Die is cast.
Time to go on the path.
Bigger the bigger.
I hope you're...
Terminate.
Phew. That was close. Fortunately, Mr. Svarog and Big Sister acted fast. Why did the little fella... Was there a compatibility issue?
Troubleshooting. Assessment. The system on the chip and the new hardware are incompatible, causing the robot to behave erratically. The current issue has been resolved. Risk level low. Alert lifted.
It appears to have adjusted to its new shell after the battle. That's great. But I'd like to keep a closer eye on it for a while. Compatibility tests should take a few days. Hopefully, it'll be all back to normal by then. I'm also curious about where this little fella came from. Could you please come back later, Big Sister? I need to look into something. I may require your assistance. Thank you, Big Sister. I'll text you when this little fella is fixed. Mr. Svarog, I'd like to give this little fella a name. Any ideas for a good name?
Accessing name database. Search results. Abby, Abigail, Ada, Addison.
I should come back to Clara later.
Sounds nice.
To celebrate, I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh. We will see. Come with me, take the journey. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. To Come with me, take the journey on. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Clemency? Never heard of it.
Turn up the volume. You're in bad shape.
I hope you're prepared.
I'm okay.
Step aside. I have...
Let's rock.
Past victories don't guarantee future ones.
Noise.
Clemency? Never heard of it.
Let me end your misery.
A delicate operation.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
It's too late to repent.
What a headache. Defend the weak.
I'm okay. Savor the vigor of it. All better now? Nap time.
So you are afraid of me. Let me end your misery.
Step aside.
Don't.
You're in bad shape.
Clemency? Move carefully. The time is now.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea butterflies. Illusions of the past.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an this sanctuary, is but a vision.
Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward! Time to go on the offensive.
Naughty, favor the vigor of it.
I'm on guard.
Nap time.
Only a scratch.
Clemency, the time is now.
Lance up the red. Fracture!
You're in bad shape.
Step aside. I have no...
It's getting late. Where to now?